Hello, it's Tammy Pally, aka the Crafty Princess, and this is a little wine and dollies for you. As usual, I'm not really drinking wine. Today my beverage is Diet Mountain Dew because I woke up at 2:30 this morning because little dude had to go outside and do his stuff. So that means the doggy mommy has to get up because the doggy daddy gets up at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning anyway and is not able to go back to sleep once he gets up. So, not that I really fell back asleep that well, but I mustered through or whatever. But wine and dollies. So let's get into the dollies. First of all, I had some dolly mail, and instead of just doing a dolly mail video, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and share it on a wine and dollies. I purchased for the first time a couple of dresses, or I guess 2 dresses and a skirt from CC Toys. I got this cute little striped dress here, and this white dress. There you go. This actually is what brought me over there. They had shared a photo of this dress on their Facebook page, and I was like, oh, that's really cute. I forgot they had clothing over there. And then this skirt. I have a top already that I think will look cute with this. So yeah, if you don't know, CC Toys sells stock Blythe dolls, but they also sell clothing and accessories, and I have looked at their stuff on occasion and totally forgot that they had dresses and other types of Blythe goodies. And the reason why I got these is because if you've watched any of my previous wine and dollies, I kind of was talking about, and some other videos that are dolly related videos, I've been talking about kind of figuring out the personalities of each of my dolls and then working on, creating this personality with their clothing. And Brigitte is one of those dollies who now has her hair down. I like it like this now. I have had it in braids for a long time, and now it's kind of like messy and wavy. So I'm going to keep it like this for a little while. I like it. We'll see how it goes. I'm mulling over doing pin curls, so that might be even cuter on her. But her personality is that she's from France, and so I thought a dress like this would look super cute on her. Sort of that little French cafe vibe. She's sitting in a cafe in France with she needs a beret, obviously. But yeah, this doll and this one over here, Eustasia, who I'm thinking of renaming, but I'm thinking of working with these dolls together. I think they look good together. They both have the Fortune Day style bodies, and so to me, because of their bodies, they really seem like older dolls to me. A lot of times, the Blythe dolls that people create, and customize and that kind of thing, I've noticed that they tend to look like very, very young children, like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and which that's cool. But these girls, I don't know. I think they're older, and I'm thinking maybe two art students from France, might be kind of a cool little vignette for them to fill. But yeah, that's why I purchased these clothings. I thought this clothing to me is something, obviously a 6-year-old child would not wear, something like this. So I'm looking for something that is a little bit more dolly adult for them in a good way. Like, I'm thinking, I don't know, how old would they be? Older teenagers, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta put these clothes on. I definitely want to make a beret. I've been looking around for a pattern. I have found some patterns that one pattern was in British. It was a crochet pattern, but it was in British versus American terminology. And yes, I probably could use my brain and try to figure it out. And then the other one I found was an American Girl style beret, which fits their big honkin' heads. But I think that, if I remember correctly, I think they was using bulky weight yarn, and I don't really want to use such thick yarn for the beret, so I might just have at it myself. I make beanies for them all the time, and I already have my, if I could make the beanie and then just start decreasing for the brim part, then I probably could make a cat bomb. I could probably make a beret fairly easy using that technique. So we shall see. I need to experiment with that. But yeah, that's what I'm sharing with you. Oh, you may also notice not only does Brigitte have a new hairdo, but I also do. I got my hair totally whacked, big time. I'm probably going to go back I am going back next week and get some sort of coloring done. My hair used to be blonde. Now it is, I don't even know what this stuff is now. I guess it's brownish to me, and I don't want to be a brunette. Yeah, so I am going back and getting my hair colored. I have never had my hair colored or permed or anything, and so it's kind of an adventure for me, because when they ask me things about foil, I have no idea what they're talking about. I've tried to Google, but it's like a whole language that is foreign to me. So she said something about color lifting, and so that she's not going to bleach my hair since I have virgin hair. She's not going to bleach it. So I think that's good. But she did a nice job cutting it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get bangs. I don't know. Bangs are kind of a pain, because then they grow out, and then I start trying to fix them myself and usually screw them up. And I don't like to go back. I don't like to go to the hairdresser like every month. I'm not going to do, I know I'm not going to do that. I will have good intentions, and I'll say, oh, I'll just make an appointment and go, but I'll get busy, and then I won't go, and then one morning I'll wake up and I'll think, oh my God, these bangs are driving me crazy, and I'll just hack at them with a pair of scissors. And yeah, I told her that. What was her term? I think she called it a kitchen hairdresser. Yeah. So, but yes, I have been kitchen hairdressing my hair for probably almost 10 years. I think the last time I went to have it professionally cut was probably 8 years ago, and I always have horrible experiences with people cutting my hair. The last one was so bad. Just long story short, the person that was supposed to be there to cut my hair wasn't there, and then they tried to make me get my hair cut by the shampoo guy who looked like a serial killer, and so I didn't go back. And I've been cutting it, either I've been cutting it or my husband's been cutting it for me, and which just means chop, 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 you know. But yeah, I decided to have some kind of actual hairdo. So Brigitte and I have something in common. So the other thing I thought I'd talk about in the Wine and Dollies today is a topic that I have been seeing popping up on a few Facebook groups, Blythe Facebook groups. I feel like I have to sip this because it's Wine and Dollies, right? And that's been this sort of controversy over stock dolls versus fake dolls or factory dolls, or even the term, I should say, of what is a factory doll, what is a fake doll, what is a stock doll, or why do some people call a factory doll a fakey versus a fakey? I don't like. Anyway, there's a lot of controversy that I have a hard time wrapping my head around. I agree, especially as someone who is a writer. I'm a published writer. I mean, like, for real. You know, I have books published by Cengage and Wiley and Sons and McFarland and what is it? Creative Publishing International, which is part of Query. So I am sensitive to the idea of copyright and ownership. I do not obviously want people copying stuff that I've written and taking it. and that's happened. And I don't like it. And so I get the whole idea of copyright and trademark and, you know, all that kind of thing. However, you know, I seriously have to wonder if Takara isn't in on this fakey stuff. And hey, Takara, if they didn't want somebody ripping them off, then they could do something about it, right? So, or maybe they can't. I don't know. But what bothers me more so is this sort of elitist attitude. I guess both sides of it bother me. The one side are these collectors who collect only stock Blythes and have this kind of elitist approach or point of view that they spew out on some of these Facebook groups. But then at the same time, there's another group that seem very pro-fakey who want to constantly bash people who've decided to just collect stock Blythes. I mean, I don't understand why. And I mean, I'm talking about this because it's not just a little thing. Like some of these threads I have seen, people are freaking out. They're using really like very colorful language, what we call sometimes in American French language. You know, if you say, excuse my French. So they're using very strong language and being really mean, both sides, okay, of it. Both sides of this. I see it on both sides. And I don't understand it. Okay, it's just, they're just dolls, people. Let people be. Like, collect what they want to collect. If they want to collect stock dolls, let them collect stock dolls. If somebody wants to collect only fakies, let them, or if they want to call them factories, okay, versus fakies, okay? I mean, what's the big whopping deal? It's kind of like Kleenex versus tissue. If I want to call a doll a factory doll, we all know that there are no such things as real factory dolls where people were, you know, stuffing an arm in their pant pocket and walking out, and then next day stuffing a leg as they left the Cara factory to make these dolls. I think that that's a bunch of baloney, personally. There's no real evidence. This is sort of a myth. And if there's no evidence, then I question it. Okay? So, you know, so anyway, back to the stock versus fakey. Just calm down, people. Right? I don't grasp the anger that I see in some of these posts, and it's a big turnoff. It makes me kind of think sometimes, well, maybe I'm going to, you know, drop out of the group, or, you know, yeah, that's what I think. So, like, I've been tempted to just leave a group because one thread will start up and it'll just go on and on and on and on. And it's, you know, somebody will make some sort of innocent comment and somebody else just jumps on top of them. It's not a factory doll. It's a fakey doll. It's stock dolls are better than factory and fakey dolls. Like, just, you know, yeah. So I just like to see people get along better. I don't, like I said, I don't understand what's the big deal. It's if you know, if you don't own Takara or have Takara stock, as in you own part of the company, not the stock doll, then what does it matter to you? And same kind of thing, if you really like fakey dolls, because it makes sense. I mean, especially if you are going to do a lot of customization. I've said this before. To me, it doesn't make sense to buy a $200 or $300 doll, change your body, carve on her face, change your eyeballs, change your hair. I mean, why did you just buy the fakey doll? Okay, but if you're going to go in the fakey doll direction, then let those other people who want to stick with the stock stick with the stock. I really don't think there's any huge difference, other than, yes, the stock are going to be more collectible because they are real from Takara, that kind of thing. But I think there's a place for really both dolls, and that's one reason why I like to collect both types of Blythe dolls. And yeah, I'd like to know, have any of you seen this kind of animosity between people who are pure fakey people versus people who are pure stock people when it comes to the Blythe world? Yeah, I'd like to see a little less arguing and confrontation in some of these Facebook groups. And I'm sticking around. I learn a lot from the groups. But when I do see these types of threads, it makes me kind of rethink sticking around. So, yeah. So that's my Dolly wine and Dollies today. Liking my new hairdo so far. I like Brigitte's hairdo, though. I don't know. Maybe I think she probably does need a trim. This is just this is a lot of hair, and maybe it would look cuter if it was just a teensy bit shorter. But go back, like here I am going to be that kitchen hairdresser. I'll just do it on my dolls instead of myself. But anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful Dolly day, and thank you for watching.